Hi everyone, my name is Justin. I'm the creator of OSnap, an iOS application for making time-lapse and stop-motion photography projects on your iPhone or iPad. In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at the playback screen in OSnap. Once you've created your time-lapse or stop-motion project, you're going to want to play it and see what it looks like. Here I am on the project summary screen, and I'm just going to tap the play button. So here we are on the playback screen, and you can see the project has begun to play. If you look towards the bottom of the screen, you'll see two arrows on either side labeled FPS, which stands for frames per second. And you can use these arrows to speed up the frame rate of the project. So you can see here I'm at about 83 frames per second, which is pretty fast. And you can take this all the way up to 200 frames per second, which is really very fast, and you'll probably rarely want to go that fast. And you can also go the other direction, so you can slow it way down. Right now I'm going to take it all the way down to, you can see here we're at 3 frames per second, which is very slow. And you can go all the way down to 1/4 of a frame per second, which is very slow. And you probably would only use that in very specific situations, like if you were creating a slideshow or something. So I'm going to put it back on 15 frames per second here, and then I'm going to tap pause. Now that we have the project paused, let's continue to look at the toolbar, which has now changed. The leftmost button is simply the back button that will take you back to the project summary screen. And then you can see there are 2 forward and back buttons on either side, and those will allow you to advance through your project frame by frame. So this button on the right will take you forward, this button will take you backwards, and you can do the same thing by swiping. So here you can see I'm swiping in order to move forward. Obviously the middle button is the play button. It will start playback again. You can also use the scrub bar in order to scrub through the project. And then all the way to the right here is the action button. The action button brings up a series of options, the first of which is to share this single frame that you're on. You could share it to your iOS photos, or you could send it to someone via messages or email it. The next option is to create a video from your project. Right now we're not going to do that. We'll look at creating a video in another tutorial. And the next option is that you can save all of the frames from this project to your iOS photos. And then the very last option, which is available in OSnap Pro 2, is that you can save all of the frames from this project to another destination, such as Dropbox or Apple Files. Okay, so I'm going to cancel out of here. So now let's look at the top of the screen. If you look in the upper left corner, you'll see the information button. If I tap it, it will bring up information about this particular photo. You can see it was created on December 28th, 2024. It has dimensions of 1080 by 1920, and its image format is JPEG. If you're in OSnap or OSnap Pro, you won't see image format because all photos in OSnap and OSnap Pro are JPEGs. However, we happen to be in OSnap Pro 2 right now, where you have options to shoot different photo formats, and so it displays the photo format, and here you can see it's a JPEG. The size of the photo is 139K, and the disk space used is 303K. You'll always see that the disk space used is slightly more than the size of the original, and that's because OSnap generates sibling images such as thumbnails and previews that go along with each image. I'm just going to exit this dialog now by tapping OK. So now let's look at the top center of the screen. Those numbers tell you what frame we're on now out of how many total frames. So you can see that right now we are looking at frame 10 of a total of 49 frames. If you look to the upper right, you'll see you have a delete button, which will allow you to delete this frame. If I tap it, a dialog box will come up. I could choose delete frame and it would delete the frame. I'm not going to do that right now. Now this frame is a little light towards the top, so you might have some difficulty making it out, but if you look in the upper left, just below the information button, you'll see what looks like an infinity symbol. If I tap that, it will turn loop playback off, and what that means is that when the project reaches the last frame during playback, it will stop. You can see there it stopped. So I can push play again, and it will get to the end and it will stop. If I turn it back on, which is what we had before, the project will just continue to loop through. So that concludes this tutorial for the playback screen in OSnap. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Thanks everyone for watching. If you'd like to see more tutorials, leave us your thoughts in the comments, or you can email us at osnap@osnapphotoapp.com.